Morning all. So they're starting the tiles today, and it's a big thing. The floor makes or breaks it, I think. You can see on the balcony there, he's doing the tile that we originally ordered for the porch, and then when it arrived, loads of them, we decided we didn't like it, so we'll use that up in the balcony. It wouldn't be our first choice even up there, but we don't just want to like throw a lot of tiles away, and the shop wouldn't let us return them or exchange them, so yeah, we'll use them up there. They're not that bad. They're also going to cover the columns, up the columns, and you can see in the bedroom we used like a small wooden looking tile, and then in the living room we've used a long wood looking tile. There's all four of them can tile, the builders, so I think they'll get most of it done today. You alright?
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
I've been doing your day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, that cottage is nearly finished, isn't it?
Nearly finished.
Yeah, they're doing the floor today.
That about how many days?
I think maybe only another 10 days and it's going to be finished.
The thing is going to be one day.
One day? That would be fast, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but maybe it'll be 2 days.
Maybe it will, won't it?
But the cottage look very nice.
It's starting to look really nice, isn't it now?
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
I like about it up the window.
Oh, the windows.
Oh, you got the window there.
Do you think you could live in here?
Yeah.
Do you? What about Hugo? Do you think he's going to like it too? That's so cool, isn't it, Tish? We've got home, don't we?
Eh?
It's our home forever. But what about bamboo though? Do you not want to stay in bamboo anymore?
No.
Why not?
Because the bamboo is not something cool.
It's got to know something cool because you like to go up there, don't you?
Yeah.
That's right. You like going up that mezzanine. But don't go up there alone.
You're not holding.
Is it too heavy?
Yeah.
Right, that's for the builders, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not holding.
We got that coffee and cake. Right, let's go and give it to the builders now, please. Over there to the builders in there, doing the bedroom. There you go. Coffee and cake, isn't it? So it's coffee and cake for them in the afternoon, and beer and Lao Khao rice whiskey in the evening. So when you're doing a build, you've got to factor that into your costs as well, because it adds up. Maybe it's 500-600 baht a day, and that's going to add up to like 15,000 baht a month. So it is a cost to consider, and then you're going to have a little party for them at the end, and so you've got to factor that into your costs. And if you want to take care of your builders, that is, I see it as absolutely necessary, because they're going to do a good job for you then as well. You treat them well, and they treat you well. That's what I say. Hey, what are you?
Builder.
You're a builder, aren't you? Show us your tools. Oh. So the story behind this kid is a very hard-working young man, 18 years old, and he's actually built his own house. And his dad is one of the construction workers here too, and he's built his own house in the village. I believe it's quite nice, and he breeds pigs too. So 18 years old and already got his own house on his own plot of land breeding pigs. I'd be very proud to have him as a son. And sometimes, like, it's it's a bit weird here, the dreams that you have for your kids. They may not be the same as in the West. Like maybe in the UK, people have dreams that the kids will become doctors. What you want for your kids, you want them to be a lawyer, you want them to be a super wealthy business person. Different people have different dreams for the kids. I try not to impress any of my dreams onto Tis. He can be what the hell he wants. But if he ended up with a little plot of land, breeding pigs and owning his own house by the time he was 18, even if he was working on building projects like this, I wouldn't have any problem with that, that's for sure. In fact, I'd be quite proud of him for doing something like that, or his brother. So it's just a bit of a weird contrast of what dreams we may have for our kids, our expectations that we have for our kids. I believe it's best to have no expectations at all, let them be who they are, let them live out their dharma and their karma, which may not agree with your expectations or your desires, your needs and your wants for them. You know, let them be who they are, let them be free. But yeah, it's a bit of a contrast in what is good for somebody. You know, is it good for somebody to be super wealthy and live in the city and probably do a job where they're working 7 days a week, and because that is the corporate world, like you're working 6-7 days a week, all hours of the day, you know, to earn money, to pay for a flashy apartment or car and stuff. You know, it's just a waste of life in my opinion. But or is it this 18-year-old kid that's got his own little pig farm, a plot of land, growing his own vegetables, and although he is working on this building site, getting great exercise in the sun, and he may not have a ton of money, we are going to be tipping him quite well. I'm going to tip him personally a little bit more because he's a young lad, you know, but he has his own little plot of freedom. I don't know, it's hard to say what's better, isn't it? So as the sun sets today in Buriram and the big tractors drive past to start talking, he's with his cows. They've come to measure up the windows as very last minute, so we get these windows measured. Damo shopped around many different places, didn't you, Mo? You shopped in many different places.
Windows.
Yeah, and the quotes were really different now. The quotes range from like 33,000.
We thought the local place gonna be cheaper.
Local wasn't cheaper.
Not cheaper. I think they just like assume that gonna be this price.
Yeah, there was a big difference in prices, a huge range. So it's definitely good to shop around if you're going to get windows installed in Thailand. She don't like strangers coming in, does she? She's very protective. So she barks when strangers come in. So what they're discussing right now is that these windows are going to open at the front. Usually they put 3 in, but then I don't want like vertical rectangle windows. I want kind of as square as possible. So I'm asking, can they just do 2 to make them more square, which would be more in like a traditional cottage. This company are very good. Well, I mean, we're going to see how the job turns out, but they seem very professional and they gave us the best price. So we've had to go for white. We wanted brown, but we've had to go for white because the price difference was so big, as I think I've mentioned. And so, however, we'll put some shutters on, so you won't even notice in the end. I think it'll look quite nice overall. This is day 1 of the tiling done. I think by tomorrow they will have done the front, and then it's the bathroom and my office. Maybe 3 or 4 more days and the tiling is done. So that's the update so far, guys. Thanks for joining. Just come out this morning and one of the poor ducks, she's stuck in the net, bless her. I don't know how she got tangled in that, but I think she's had to leave her eggs too, so I'll have to get her out. Well, looks like no serious damage, but she is limping and her foot probably takes some time to cut off the circulation, probably take some time to recover. Hopefully the eggs have survived. She's gone straight back to them. I think they're okay for like 24 hours with nobody sitting on them because our temperatures are quite warm here in Thailand. But let's hope. Alright guys, you're gonna have to excuse me. I've done my back in. Lower back, it happens sometimes. Sometimes it puts me out for days too, but you just got to keep ploughing on through. Right, I've got a weird one for you today. How do I even start this? Alright, so it all started with a suggestion from subscribers Sunny and Honey. So I put their comment just here. And what their suggestion is that we put up for adoption some of the animals on the farm. And we thought it was quite a fun idea to be interactive with subscribers and kind of, bring you in to our little story here. But none of the animals that have got names already are going to be up for adoption. But any animals that don't have names yet, we've put up for adoption on our Patreon page. Link is in the description and in the pinned comment. And the whole thing is, you can adopt one, the animals, and you can name it, and that's the name we're going to stick with on the channel. So each animal in the Patreon is listed. I think there's 4 available now, and you can decide the name, and basically it just outlines the story behind that animal. And so, in line with that, I'm happy to announce that our ugly chicken here has been adopted. So she's just freaking out a little bit at the moment, but chill out. Ugly Chicken has been adopted by our friend and patron and member Andrew Shinegold. And Andrew insisted that Otis name her. So he didn't want to name her. Andrew, thanks a lot and welcome to the family. And I asked Tis what would he like to name Ugly Chicken.
How about T-Rex?
T-Rex?
Yeah.
Call it T-Rex if you want. Yeah?
How about Spider-Man?
No, not Spider-Man. I knew you were going to say Spider-Man. Anything but Spider-Man. So T-Rex. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
So Ugly Chicken is now called T-Rex. You asked for it. I mean, at least it's not Spider-Man. I would have probably thought of some different names, but that's the name Otis went with. Let's call her T-Rex. So now she's called T-Rex. So that's Ugly Chicken adopted. Thank you, Andrew. Welcome to our farm. So the only last thing I'll say on this is, if there are any hardcore followers of this channel, people that have been following for a long time, there's a story unfolding that I've not mentioned on the vlog. I haven't gone into it because I think new subscribers and new people that don't know us and don't know the story, I think it's just going to cause too many questions and too much headache. So this is for hardcore watchers of the channel. It concerns misery, and if you want to know the story, head on over to our Patreon page, link in description and pinned comment, and I've put the story under the pig that you can read. For anybody that's really deep into this channel, it's a bit of a sad story, but it's going to have a happy ending. So you can check it out on the Patreon page and read into it. I probably won't mention this on the vlog now again. This is the one and only time I'm going to mention it. And I'm not going to be going into that story that you can read there. Not yet anyway. Maybe down the line I have to. But yeah, enjoy. If you go and check it out, enjoy the story. So my back is still killing, but Damo's slave driving me. I said, do we really have to put it all in there? She's like, yeah. So she don't care that my back's all gone. She's like, come on, get on with it. This is the old chicken house. How long ago was this built?
This 3 years.
3 years ago, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's strong, it's dry. We just want to put this wood in there in case in the future we're going to use it, and we probably are going to use it. There you go. Here you go, Bob. Watch out, don't fall, yeah? I'll show you. Bring it round here.
Oh man.
We're going to need to put wheelchair access And I'm serious, I'm not even joking. Good job we built the thing on one floor, because sometimes my back goes out like this and it can go on for days. There's sometimes that I can't get out of bed in it, babe.
จ้า
And you have to come and bring food and stuff. It can go on for days, so we've got everything on one floor and we'll make sure we've got ramps and stuff, because as I get older, you never know, do you?
Oh man, now already, yeah.
Daddy, what?
Oh,
You see that?
I saw that. What happened?
I did fart and I did top to tail.
Stop yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
So we're actually just cleaning up at the moment. I was going to shoot some fancy vlogs showing us cleaning up and just clearing up the place and getting it ready. The builders took a day off. It's a funeral. But I thought, no, I'm not going to shoot. I'm not going to shoot. But just to fill you in on the story for those that are following this build, we are cleaning up. We're nearly there. We're really close. In another day after the funeral, they're going to come back and finish the tiling at the front. The windows are coming in. The tiling of the columns that are holding up the balcony. The doors are going to go on. We're very close now. But me and Damo are doing a nice clean. We're finally trying to get the place back to some working order. Anybody that's done a build knows that it's exciting having the builders in and all this and having them obviously build it. But after a while, you just kind of want people out. You don't want people around here. You don't want the noise. You want to clean up the place. Like we want to clean up the garden. We feel like we're living on a building site, you know. Well, we are living on a building site. So you know how it is. We actually just want to, you know, thank everybody, pay everybody, and start getting this place back into some kind of normal working order. Anybody that's done a build knows exactly how I feel about that, I'm sure. And I'm sure the builders want to get on with their next job too. However, when they do finish this, we have 2 more projects for them, but they're located over behind the kitchen. So we'll get our space back and our privacy back and get this place cleaned up, spick and span. And now the floor is finished and our brother has put in the lights and the fan. So I think these are going to be nice. Better seen in the dark, but so he's just finishing this installation here. And then these are lights for the porch in already. So for these outdoor lights, I've got the switch there. He's just finishing off. These are the plugs for the TV. You've got lots of plugs here because this is where the TV will go. The one behind the wood there we're going to be filling in. And then we got one over here, one plug next to the sofa. And then the light switches are here and the bottom light under the second floor is in. So that's it's a lot of lights. It's the plug for the vinyl player. And then also he's just put the fan in the bedroom. So there's the fan up there. Going to be 4 lights in here when he's done. So as you can see, we've also added these little plant pots at the front here and a step. So these will just be for some plants, nice plants at the front. So we had Tis sick in the bamboo last night. The weather's changing here and at night time the temperature drops really low, like jumper wearing low. And it just drops so fast. And through the day you're okay, and then all the allergies come at night time, and he just got a little bit something stuck and he vomited all over the floor in the bamboo. So as well as cleaning the floors, Damo's sun cleaning. She's sun cleaning the carpet here. So we've cleaned it, soaped it, and now it gets clean in the sun as well. So he's feeling better now. They're just watching a couple of tunes together while Damo has a chill. She's tired too. Tis, are you feeling better now? Were you sick last night? You don't feel better, so you have to watch Toon, don't you? He knows if he says he's feeling better, that I might not let him watch Toon. He thinks if I say you're better now, and he says I'm better, then I'll be like, right, no Toon then, no iPad. So if you get sick, the temperature drops. Me too. It's nothing serious, and for most things I keep medicine on site because you never know what's going to happen. So I've got a box. It's a huge box. I have shown it on the vlog many vlogs ago, but now it's much bigger. And I keep everything in there. You know, I keep antibiotics in the fridge and of all different varieties, and I keep all the first aid box. I've got an EpiPen, one for adults, one for kids. That's just for kind of any bites, things like that. I don't have any anti-venoms or anything like that for the snakes, but the local hospitals do stock them. And I also keep this too. This is I keep it quite accessible, as you see. This is a choking pump. So say one of the kids gets something stuck in the throat, this pump here, you can pull it out, and that's an adult mask in case an adult is choking, and there's the kids one here. So you put that in there, and then you basically push it in, cover the mouth, and pull it out, and that will create a suction that pulls whatever's lodged in the throat out. So it's like first aid for choking, you know. So I don't think it's like being paranoid. I think it's more like being prepared. Like if one of the kids was choking, this could save a life. And I think it was only, I bought it for like 400 or 500 baht from Lazada. It had to come from China. So I think it's worth having one. Especially on site we have 7 kids. So you know kids, and they're running around playing and eating toffees and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it can happen. And we're not in good distance to a very big hospital, like an international hospital. So most things I do try and prepare for here ourselves. But as I said, the anti-venom and things like that, I cannot prepare. There's some things that you cannot prepare and would have to go to a hospital for. So it's just about being prepared. I usually use, funnily enough, the first aid stuff because I'm first aid trained as well because I worked in the hospitality industry. So that's CPR and things like that. But the first aid stuff, usually I use it on the animals. So we had one of the dogs had a bleeding foot the other day, and we had to iodine it and bandage it and stuff. So I use it more on the animals than I do, luckily, than the kids and ourselves. So yeah, he's feeling better. He's going to get better, and I'll be keeping an eye on him. Right. So what's the first riddle for the chocolate? The first treasure.
The first treasure.
You need to know.
You need to know.
It's big and stinky.
Big and stinky.
It's a buffalo.
Yeah, buffalo.
Right, so where's the buffalo in here? Go on, have a look, and you'll find the treasure.
Yeah.
You found the treasure.
Don't eat it yet, yeah?
You don't want to eat it yet? I love you, and you love me. The next treasure is under the tree. Ah! You found it! Right, the next treasure. You love me, and I love you. The next treasure is in the bamboo. Ah! The last treasure. I love you, and you love me. The last treasure is behind the banana tree. That's all of them.
Yeah, let's go. Time to eat in my pocket.
Oi!